Hey guys, it's Mrs. Benachi here. Welcome back to my channel. And today I'm going to be talking about intimate relationship. If you're married or you're in a serious relationship, most likely you are in an intimate relationship. So normally, when you hear anything to do with relationships, you will always think about the five love languages, right? We have acts of service, quality time, physical touch, words of affirmation, and receiving gifts, right? So, y'all, let me give you a quick story real quick. When my husband and I started dating, newly dating, he did not really understand my number one love language, and we got into an argument. So we were driving down the street, and I was driving, and I was driving with one hand, and the other hand we were holding hands, right? I guess he got tired and he just wanted a break and he let go of my hand. One of my biggest love languages is definitely physical touch. And it does not have to be sexual touch, just, physical touch, hold my hand, I'm gonna be good. So when he let go of my hand, I was pissed. I was so mad. I was like, why did you let go of my hand? And it was like an argument. I'm telling you all these things because when you're thinking about intimacy in a relationship, you need to be able to communicate with your partner about what your love language might be. When you communicate with your partner, you gotta let them know as a woman what's your number one love language. Anyway, so we had a discussion, and I let him know, like, look, like, I like physical touch. I want you to hold my hand, and ever since then, right, he knows this is what my wife likes. In every single relationship, everybody has a different love language. Communication is one of the things that helps build the intimacy in a relationship. The second thing also that helps build intimacy in a relationship would be cultivating your friendship within the relationship. Always be friends. So that's one of the things that I know works. When you are friends with your partner, you're free with that person. You can tell them, your secrets, your desires. You can let them know things that other people don't even know. Building that friendship is also a big part of building and having a great relationship with your partner. The third thing is creating a safe space with your partner, not because you're in danger, but for your emotional well-being. So what do I mean by that, right? So that means if there's an issue in your marriage, or there's a disagreement within, both of you guys are able to talk, have a conversation, and creating a safe space. So most of the time, women, we do this a lot. We pretty much have like a logbook of he did this wrong, he did that wrong, and we don't necessarily listen to understand. Creating that safe space is allowing your partner to speak and you're actually listening to understand. So that way, when you guys are having that conversation, you're able to understand what the other person is saying. And when you do that, you are creating a safe space for your partner to be able to say, oh, hey, you did this or you did that, or whatever the case may be. You guys can discuss and nobody's feeling judged, or nobody's feeling like, oh, you're going to use this against me later. Okay. The fourth thing is intimacy in the bedroom. Now, intimacy does not just start in the bedroom, it starts at the moment that you wake up. Now, we're going to go back to communicating here because that's very important. For us ladies, you already know what's up. It takes time, it just does. So, how are we creating the intimacy in the bedroom? Are you communicating to your partner, letting them know, like, hey, maybe I want text messages during the day, or when we wake up in the morning, I want cuddles. That way, your partner knows I'm not just going to come to you after work, like, hey, I'm ready. And as a woman, you're not there mentally. So, for us women, we carry a lot of things in our minds already. If you're a mom like me, I got two kids. My mind is always racing about the kids, like, okay, did they eat? They need a shower, or whatever the case may be. I'm working, I'm thinking about that. I'm thinking about lunch, I'm thinking about dinner, I'm thinking about I need to make breakfast, I'm thinking about tomorrow. So when it comes to intimacy, it's just not going to be like, oh yeah, let's just start, right? Creating, I'm sorry, communicating to your partner about intimacy, like how it can start when you guys wake up, that's also helping. So for me, I know I like slow mornings. I don't want to be in a rush. I want to cuddle. I want to kiss, and then I can start my day. And then during the day, okay, let's have fun during the day. Call, check up on each other, send nice, sexy, flirty messages. That helps. And also too for women, we also like getting help in the house. That's just facts, especially if you're here in America and you don't have help. You want your partner to be able to assist you in the day-to-day things. Like, I did not make these babies by myself. I did not decide that we're going to be in a marriage by myself. So it is a team effort, and that goes a long way. So again, communicate to your partner what you would like, because again, most women, um, you get angry because you don't have help, or you have not communicated to your partner these things, and then when he's ready to come home and he wants something, you just like, nah, like you're just turned off. So communicate with physical intimacy. And going back to the five love languages, right? So acts of service, receiving gifts, etc. You should already know what is your love language. So depending on your love language, whether it's receiving gifts, you communicate to your significant other like, hey, I like receiving gifts. This is something that can help and aid into the intimacy aspect of your relationship. The next thing is having fun, date nights. Are you guys going on date nights? Are you planning date nights? Is this something that is important? If you have children, you understand that once you have kids, as a mom, your life completely changes. Especially that the first 2 years when the kids are still really, really young, our focus mainly shifts on the kids. If you have children, are you guys still trying to create time for each other, time to date, time to go out? Are you going to dinner? Are you going to the movies? Are you going, to the escape room? Just cultivating date nights, that's something that's also bringing intimacy into your relationship, because now you're leaving the kids at home and you're spending that quality time with each other. Because it's very important. At the end of the day, we become parents and it's like we forget about our significant other, we forget about ourselves. Everything just becomes about the kids. Quality time is very, very important. Date nights, just having fun, like going out. You can just decide, hey, let's just go out for the weekend. Let's go to the beach, or let's go out of town. Let's have a staycation. These are times that are actually helping you guys bond together without the kids. That's if you do have kids. If you don't have kids, then yeah, go ahead. You don't have any responsibility at all. So I think this is also another way that you can create intimacy in your relationship. Let's talk about passion and desire. This is something that kind of gets lost in the mix. When you're dating or when you're courting, it's like, oh, I'm dressing good, I'm smelling good, my hair is done, my body is snatched. And then you get married. What happens? You let yourself go? Like, why? Why are we doing that? When we're courting or when we're dating, there's like a there's like this fire that's burning on both sides. There's a fire with the guys, there's a fire with the women. The passion is going, the fire is burning, and it's burning red, it's burning bright. The guys buying flowers, the guys opening up the door, the ladies, we're looking good, smelling good, hair done, body snatched. When you're dating, a lot of things are happening, right? So we're texting, long conversation, long paragraphs. We're going out on dates like every weekend. You're making time for this person. Like, hey, what are you doing on Friday? I'm free. Let's go out. Let's go to the movies. Let's do this. You're creating that bond. And what we need to do to also increase the intimacy after the dating season has passed is to continue doing these things, because in the beginning there was excitement in the relationship. There was a lot of excitement from the guy. There's a lot of excitement from the lady, and we need to bring this back, because the guy, you were opening up the door. You were sending flowers, you were bringing flowers. It could be like the guy was bringing flowers to the job, or when he would see you, he would come with flowers, or he would bring you gifts. We need to ask ourselves, what has changed? What has happened? Why are we not doing these things that we were doing before? When you think about when you were in the dating season, and if there has been a change in your relationship or in your marriage, you need to think about, like, okay, this is how the things were, but then now it's okay, we can't go back to how things were, but we can improve, and we can have these discussions, and we can bring back the passion and the desire. If you've been in a long-term relationship for a long time, or you've been married for a long time, your love language changes with seasons depending on what has happened. Let me say, for me, for an example, having kids changed my love language, right? Like I was telling you guys in the beginning, it was physical touch. Not to say that that has stopped or that has really changed, but now it was more of acts of service. When you have kids and it's just you and your husband, it changes. You need help with the kids. Diapers got to be changed. The baby needs to eat. You got to prepare baby food. There's toys in the house. The house needs to be cleaned up. So you will find that acts of service might be your number one. So the question to you would be, when that change happens in your relationship, do you check in with one another to see, hey, we've had a big change in our lives. Has anything changed? Let's go over our 5 love languages to see whether things need to pivot a little bit. So that's another thing. Check in on each other, and it's not just for women only. Even for us women, we need to ask our husbands or our boyfriend or your fiance. You need to ask them, like, okay, we've had a baby. How are you feeling? Has your love language changed? Because again, when you have a baby, that changes. Or if you change a career, or if you move, certain things happen in life that cause you to change your love language. So that's another thing that you can discuss. And it will also bring you closer, because you're not missing a beat in your relationship. Life is just not lifing. You're actually intentionally putting in that effort in every single season to check in with one another. Another big thing in a relationship is spicing things up. So let's talk about it, ladies. Have you been doing the same thing over and over again? There's no fun. There's no fun in the bedroom. It's boring. The way you dress has changed. Now you're just looking like a mom, and you're not snatched no more. Your appearance, you're not taking care of yourself. So spicing things up in your relationship is another way of building that intimacy and building that bond. Like I was mentioning before, are you just stuck on doing one position every single day or whenever? Spicing things up in the bedroom is another way of building that intimacy. So, are you buying sexy clothes? Are you switching up positions? Are you talking differently in a certain way, if you know what I mean? Are you also having that conversation with your partner about spicing things up in the bedroom? And are you allowing your partner to be free and not being judgmental if he has a certain request? That's another thing too. Are we having these conversations? Are we being open and honest in the bedroom? For example, let's say you've been giving your significant other a gift the same way every single year. You need to ask yourself, what do I need to do to make this gift even more special than the way I have been delivering the gift, right? So, for example, it could just be like every year you celebrate the birthday at home, and it's the same kind of thing. It's so repetitive. There's no surprise. There's no excitement to how you're presenting this gift. Let's say it's a birthday or whatever it may be. Maybe what you can do is just say, hey, you know what? Since I have a whole year to plan for this birthday, maybe let me fly out my significant other to a nice destination, to the Caribbean or whatever the case may be, to just spice it up a little bit. Having that change also helps to build that intimacy, because you're not doing the same thing every single year the same way. You're switching that up. So that's another way that you can build intimacy. You guys can catch me on here on Tuesdays, Thursdays, and Sundays. I have a lot of great things in store for this channel. I'm going to be posting about meal prepping, traveling, family, motherhood, and just a whole bunch of stuff. Make sure you guys tune in on Tuesdays, Thursdays, and Sundays for a new episode. Thank you for watching.